Belinda, obviously the result on the weekend means it's probably going to be pretty near impossible to play finals. But I mean, what's the objective now? Is it to just try and improve and see who wants to put their hand up, I guess, for next year?
Yeah, obviously with finals out of reach, our focus does shift slightly, but it's certainly to finish off the season very strongly. We've been proud of most of our performance. We were a little disappointed on the game against the Giants, especially our turnover conversion rate wasn't good enough, so we crept up our error rate again then. But it's certainly to obviously finish off this year strong, but also look to focus on what we need for next year.
I think your last win was against Collingwood, so a good chance to try and get back to back against them this weekend.
Yeah, we played really well against Collingwood on Anzac Day. Obviously, Collingwood are in a world of hurt at the moment, and they're rallying together, so we know it would be a strong, united front coming for us this Saturday night. So we're going to prepare just as well as we have done for every other game. We expect a tough battle against Collingwood, but again, we do match up really well against them, so certainly looking forward to that contest, and we want the win.
How's Cara?
Yeah, Cara suffered that ankle injury late in the Giants game. We're monitoring her load during this week. She'll be back on the training track tomorrow, and yeah, all signs looking like she's going to play on Saturday night.
Despite some of those close games and losses and that, do you take something out of that positive that it gives some of the players, especially the ones that are more inexperienced, something to look at and to take away to learn experience for the future when they come up against it again next season or later this season?
Yeah, look, we've had to rotate our roster anyway this year because of the injuries we've had already this season. I thought when the young athletes in our squad have taken the court this year, they've had great impact, and we'll look to see what they can do in the next games ahead, and I'm sure that they'll take those opportunities with both hands and walk towards the opportunity.
How big a part has injury played this year in the way the team's gone?
Injury hasn't been ideal this year, but we've made no excuses for that. We've obviously been really close in our performances, and we haven't put it down to injury. We've put it down to making sure that we're finishing off games. So we'll certainly look to make sure that we're searching for that four-quarter performance in the last few games.
Players like Steph and Cara, does their load need to be monitored now with Australian Diamonds duty, or is it still what the club wants to do is what the club wants to do?
Yeah, Stacey's always said SSN comes first when we're in the SSN season, and there's no better preparation for World Cup than to be playing against World's Best, which is our competition here. So Steph and Cara will play as many minutes as they can leading into the back end of the season.
Charlie, obviously it's probably, I guess, disappointing that finals is pretty much out of reach, but as a playing group with 4 games to go, I mean, what's the message? What do you ladies want to get out of the rest of the season?
We just really want to finish these last 4 games in the rounds really strong, and our goal is to finish top 4 of the bottom 4, so just really finishing on a high.
Yeah, and Collingwood's a good chance this week. I mean, you played well against them, you beat them on Anzac Day. What are you expecting from them coming in?
I think they're going to come with nothing to lose. They're going to come all guns blazing and just really hit us with whatever they've got, and I think we're definitely ready, and the preparation we'll have in training tonight and the next couple of days will be really good for our game on Saturday.
Have you enjoyed getting some game time in the last few weeks?
Yes, very much so. It's been really fun, and just being able to do whatever I can with the court time I do get, and I think I've done all right so far, and just keen to, if I do get out there on Saturday, just give it to them.
And what have you made of those opportunities? How will it help you for games the rest of this season, but going ahead next season and further on?
Yeah, so obviously being under Cara and Steph has been amazing for my development, and I think after SSN season I'll look towards my preparation for Australian Netball Championships, where I will play for Lightning, so it'll be a really good time to just cement some new learnings and then take that into the next competition.
Are you back for next year, Charlie, or have you just signed a 1-year deal?
I've just got the 1-year deal. I'm not sure what next year holds for me, but just hoping I can play as good as I can with the court time I get to show to anyone who's watching that I want to be here for as long as I can be. Yeah.
Well, that's a big incentive, isn't it? Because obviously it's tough to get a Super Netball contract with just the 8 teams, but
yes,
the fact you're getting court time and you're scoring, I mean, do you have some things that you feel like you want to improve on as well?
Oh, definitely. I think every week I learn some new things, and then I also feel like sometimes I have a couple of setbacks, but I definitely think going forward is just taking everything I can learn from B, Steph, Cara, everyone, and even the defenders from the opposite point of view is something I can definitely take into my game and keep improving that.
lovely Indigenous jersey that you're going to be wearing.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it?
What are
Very
your
colourful.
thoughts of it? It's amazing to look at from standing.
I know, I love all the different colours. It's definitely different from our usual either plain blue or plain white playing outfits, but I really love the incorporation of the purple. The snake, I think, is probably my favourite part because each of the body parts on the snake represent the 7 players of the team, which I just feels like it really unites us all together as we're wearing it on game day, which will be Saturday.
This is an important round, Indigenous round. I feel like it's important in every sporting code that we have in this country, AFL, NRL. Is it great to see netball has in the last few years gotten on board with it as well?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a really special round, and I think not only should it be celebrated for this round and the next round, but every round. It should not just come around maybe twice a season. So I think definitely putting the Indigenous community on display more is definitely something we need to work towards in our sport.
Well said. Thanks, Charlie. Okay, well, it's a great design that we're looking at for the ladies' dresses this weekend. Tell us a little bit about the background and how you came up with it.
I wanted to incorporate the women. That was the most important part I think I wanted to do. And how to encapsulate that was through telling their story through our culture, so from our perspectives and how we view women in our communities and within our culture. So in our culture, we actually revere women because they actually hold a lot of our knowledge and they are the keepers of our songs, our law, our dance. And as they look after our children, they actually pass on our language and all those sorts of things. So they're very important in our community for the continuation of our culture. So I wanted to be able to encapsulate that in this piece. And I think I also wanted to tell a story about the ladies on the field. So being that the snake is the creator, I wanted to talk about its journey over this country. And I wanted to talk about the ladies on the field, so them coming together in unity and becoming one, basically, while they're on the field. So the different parts of the snake represent that, and yeah.
Jerome, I know you study animal ecology too, and that comes, I guess, why is that so important? It's in your arts, in what you study?
Yeah, it's in everything I do because country is the foundation of who we are as Aboriginal people. Our language comes from country. We come from country, our song comes from country. Everything that we do is to protect country. So I think it's a very important thing for me in my art to be able to depict that connection that we have with our country.
I reckon it's one of the best designs I've seen in any of the sports of Indigenous round, whether it's the AFL, NRL, and certainly the netball. Do you do more art? Where can you buy some?
Yeah,
Give yourself a plug.
I do it, but I don't know, like I don't really, yeah.
You don't have an art gallery somewhere? Or
No. I just do it. Yeah.
What was it like when you did the painting and you've seen the designs, but when you first saw it, I guess,
On the dress?
Yeah.
It was really cool because I'd never seen, I guess, to this extent the changing of, it was really cool and really vibrant, and yeah, I'm really proud of it actually, yeah.
And what does it mean to you that sports are having an Indigenous round? What does it mean to Indigenous people and yourself?
I think it's actually really important for us to be recognised in one of the biggest places in this country, which is sport, and to be at the heart of that. Being that obviously we were, tried to be wiped out of this country, now we're at the forefront and in these places like this, so I think it's very important. And I take great pride in having my artwork on the ladies and out on the field. And, yeah.